Evan's scream ended with a wet snap, and the world for a split second felt smaller than the panic ringing in my ears. This morning, I still had to set 3 alarms to drag myself out of bed, chase cheap coffee with my acid reflux pills, and wince at the ache in my left knee. Old soccer injury, never healed right, makes stairwells hell. My fridge was empty except for ketchup, string cheese, and a half-eaten container of Greek yogurt. I was 28, still living in my sister's spare room since I lost my apartment last March. My best friends, Evan and Carly, were the closest thing I had to a social life after I bombed that IT job. There's a scuffed keychain in my hoodie pocket, blue plastic dinosaur. Evan won it for me at Dave & Buster's, back before everything started rotting from the inside out. Now, Evan was sprawled on the tile in front of me, his eyes blown wide and ringed with veins so dark they looked inked. His jaw was crooked, teeth flecked red. Carly stood behind him, breathing in short metallic gasps, her inhaler rattling in one hand, useless. The room reeked, not like blood but ammonia and rotting plastic, thick enough I could taste it every time I tried to swallow. They said on the news it was a virus, or a fungus, or maybe just rage, cooked up by whatever the government dumped in the water supply. All I knew was that people stopped acting like people, friends or not. They turned. The sirens started 10 minutes ago. One long, one short, one warbled, then nothing. We'd barricaded ourselves in Carly's kitchen, just like every idiot does in movies, but the pounding at the door was getting sharper, more rhythmic. It wasn't just fists. I could hear the scrape of nails, and underneath it, a static crackling like someone whispering through bad headphones, but the words didn't line up with anyone's mouth. I checked my phone. No signal. Just the battery icon blinking over my lock screen. A photo of my niece at her 5th birthday party, frosting in her hair. It felt radioactive in my hand. My knee screamed as I pushed a chair against the handle, adrenaline burning off the pain. Carly dropped her inhaler. Evan gurgled something and thrashed, kicking over the recycling bin. Bottles clattered, too loud. The pounding outside stopped. Silence, then a thin, breathy voice from the hallway, one I recognized but warped, stretched, syllables melting together. Mika, help us. Carly's hand clamped on my arm. That's Kyle. That's my brother. He's supposed to be in Atlanta. I shook my head, heart slamming like a hammer in a dryer. Don't. It's not him. They're copying voices. Don't answer. The voice tried again, closer this time, scraping right up against the other side of the door. Let us in, Mike. It's safe. You have to let us in. My phone vibrated suddenly, an old text maybe, or an alert, but the screen stayed black. Carly sobbed, chest rattling, and I realized I could hear more voices now, stacking over each other, all with familiar inflections. Neighbors, my old boss, my dad. Static grew louder. My knee buckled. Evan's fingers clamped around my ankle. His skin felt cold and rubbery. He looked up, his eyes already someone else's, and behind the door, my own name croaked through a dozen familiar mouths, begging to be let in. I kicked Evan's hand off my ankle, scrambling backward so fast my knee nearly gave out. His nails left shallow red marks above my sock. Carly started pulling at my sleeve, eyes darting between Evan and the kitchen window. Outside, the voices blurred, 1 or 2 high, sharp laughs, then the slow, dragging sound of something heavy across tile. My phone buzzed again, rattling on the counter, the screen still black. Evan made a sound, half word, half grunt, and his fingers twitched, scraping against the linoleum. For a split second, his lips shaped my name. Not the voice from the hall, but almost, just off enough to freeze me. I remembered the time he'd slept on my couch after his breakup, how he'd begged me not to tell anyone he cried. Now his eyes locked on mine, all the old warmth gone, replaced by something flat and hungry. Carly knelt next to me. We have to go, Mike. If he bites... A crash upstairs. The whole building shuddered. The lights flickered, popping to a jaundiced yellow. I heard footsteps, deliberate, too heavy for any of us. The front door banged twice, then stopped. I grabbed a paring knife from the counter, the plastic handle sticky from old peach juice. My hands shook. "Don't open the window," I said, voice thin. "Don't touch the doors." Carly nodded, her breath whistling. She fumbled for her inhaler, dropped it, then snatched it back. She kept glancing at Evan. I pressed my bad knee against the dishwasher for support. The door handle jiggled, and that voice, my mom's voice, unmistakable, filtered in. "Honey, open up. Dinner's ready." My heart crumpled. My mom died 3 years ago. Carly's fingers dug into my shoulder, hard. "That's not her, Mike." The air grew thick, hot with the stench of ammonia and something chemical, sour sweet like burnt plastic. Evan rolled to his knees, twitching, his breath coming in ugly little gasps. I jabbed at him with the knife just to keep him away, but I didn't want to hurt him. He crawled, head jerking side to side as if fighting something off. Footsteps thundered overhead. Someone, or something, was moving through the hallway, dragging what sounded like chains, scraping in sharp staccato bursts. Every time it paused, the static rose, until I could feel it crawling into my ear canal. Carly's phone flashed. Emergency alert. She showed it to me, hands trembling. "Shelter in place. Do not trust anyone. They mimic. Stay silent. Do not answer familiar voices." Evan's jaw snapped sideways, a sickening pop. He lunged. I grabbed Carly and yanked her behind the table, smacking my knee. Evan's teeth grazed my jeans, not breaking skin, but the pressure left a dent. I swung the knife, missed. Evan howled, a low scraping sound, and the static in the walls flared so loud I thought I'd go deaf. "Window!" Carly shouted, already moving. I crawled after her, dragging my bad leg, thinking about the dinosaur keychain in my hoodie. The window lock stuck. I yanked it up, praying the glass wouldn't shatter. Something slammed into the kitchen door, hard enough to buckle the wood. Evan screamed again, an animal noise, and then he was on me, hands scrabbling for my throat. I thought about my niece, her laugh, the stupid pink candles. I thought about every time I ignored a call from my mom, every missed second. The door splintered. I shoved Evan backward, booted the window open, glass raining down into the alley. Carly went first, landing badly on her ankle but waving for me to follow. Evan clawed at my leg, and I kicked him off with everything left in me, heart pounding so hard my vision tunneled. Static thundered, the last thing I heard as I tumbled out after her. We hit the ground, hard. Above us, the kitchen filled with a jumble of voices, all saying my name. The alley stank of trash and rotting leaves, cold air biting through my hoodie. I helped Carly up, steadying her as she limped, her breaths sharp and uneven. She tried to put weight on her right foot and nearly collapsed. We ducked behind the neighbors' recycling bins, pressing ourselves flat while the chaos above us built to a shrieking crescendo, then fell silent. I checked my jeans. No blood, just a deep bruise where Evan's teeth had clamped down. My hands shook so hard I dropped my phone in the gutter. I snatched it up, still no bars, just a dead battery icon pulsing. My knee throbbed. Carly wiped her nose on her sleeve, her face streaked with sweat and snot. She squeezed her inhaler, eyes wild. She whispered, "What now?" A flickering security light at the end of the alley painted everything in sick yellow stripes. I could see the side gate, the only way out unless we wanted to risk the front street. Something scraped behind the fence, soft at first, then rhythmic. Carly stiffened, grabbing my arm. A voice floated over the boards, warped and garbled, my old boss from the tech store asking about a shipment. I froze, bile rising. Carly squeezed my wrist until it hurt. The voice changed, her dad, then her college roommate, then a patchwork chorus of everyone we knew. The static had a rhythm now. Between bursts, I caught a faint, wet clicking, like someone chewing glass. Carly was shaking. Her phone buzzed. Emergency alert repeating, "Do not trust the voices. Avoid crowds. Barricade doors. Stay in the light." Carly looked at me, her voice raw. "If you get bit, do you turn?" I swallowed. "I don't know. I think it's faster now." A can rolled down the alley. Shadows darted between the cars. My knee was locking up, sweat running down my spine. I clutched the keychain in my pocket. The blue dinosaur rough under my thumb, a memory of safer days. The smell in the air shifted, burned plastic and ammonia stronger, nearly gagging me. The side gate latch clicked. I saw pale fingers curl over the wood, too long, jointed in the wrong places. Carly's breathing got louder. My own heart hammered so hard it hurt. We moved as quietly as we could toward the street, ducking past the dumpsters. The voices multiplied, filling the space between buildings, calling our names, offering comfort, begging, mocking. I heard my dad promising everything would be okay. My niece, her voice shrill and sweet, pleading for help. Carly stumbled. I grabbed her, hauling her up. The kitchen window above exploded, raining glass on the trash cans. A tangle of limbs clawed over the sill. Evan's sweatshirt streaked with blood, then his ruined face, jaws working soundlessly. Others followed, sliding out, moving wrong, too quick, then jittery, as if some unseen hand was skipping them through time. I yanked Carly down the alley, ignoring the tearing in my knee. The side gate crashed open. Behind us, the voices shifted from pleading to snarling. One of them screamed my name perfectly. No static, no distortion. Just Evan, the way he used to sound after too many beers. The way he used to sound when he was still my friend. We burst onto the street, headlights blinding. A truck skidded to a stop, horn blaring. And I realized too late I'd dragged Carly into the open. Shapes surged behind us, teeth snapping, eyes empty except for the glint of stolen voices. The truck's headlights turned everything bone white. I yanked Carly out of the way just as the driver, an older guy in a dirty ball cap, leaned out, shouting for us to get in, his voice shaking. For a split second I hesitated, scanning his face for any sign he might be one of them, but his hands gripped the wheel so tight his knuckles were bloodless, and there was terror in his eyes that felt human. Carly limped around to the passenger side, nearly collapsing into the seat. I slid in after her, heart jackhammering, and slammed the door. The driver floored it, tires screaming. I looked back as we sped away. The infected poured into the street, faces illuminated in the mirrors, some shoving each other, jaws distended, all mouthing our names in chorus. The static faded as we left, but something cold lingered in my spine. The cab stank of sweat, fast food, and gasoline. The driver introduced himself as Bill, voice raw. "You kids hurt?" Carly shook her head, holding her ankle. I pressed my hands into my lap to keep from shaking, dinosaur keychain digging into my palm. Bill handed me a half-charged walkie from the dash, muttering, "No cell towers. Use that." He flicked on the radio. Only static. We passed a gas station, lights shattered, bodies slumped against the pumps, unmoving. More figures crowded the intersection, some walking, some twitching in place like broken toys. The windows stayed up. I tried not to breathe. Bill headed for the freeway. "I got a place south, old hunting cabin, no one else around. We'll make it. We just can't stop for anyone. Not anymore." The memory of Evan's eyes, Carly's brother's voice in the hallway, my mom calling from the other side of the door, all pressed in on me. I kept expecting my phone to buzz again, show another impossible text, but it stayed dead. Carly watched the side mirror, silent except for her ragged breaths. After 15 minutes, Bill pulled off at an exit ramp. I spotted movement in the rear view, a pickup swerving behind us, lights off, windows blacked out. My pulse shot up. Someone's following. Bill cursed, accelerating. The truck tailgated us, then flashed its brights, just once. I counted 3 figures in the cab, no faces. One leaned out the window, mouth wide, a static-filled howl cutting through the night. Carly fumbled for the walkie. What do I say? Anything, I choked out. Just say something only you would know. She clicked the button. If anyone hears this, tell my brother Kyle I still have his UGA hoodie and I lied, I never washed it. No reply. Just a burst of static. Then a voice, clipped and weirdly familiar. I know. I'll come get it soon. Bill swerved onto a gravel road, branches scraping the sides, headlights bobbing. The pickup fishtailed, then veered off, disappearing behind a stand of pines. We didn't slow down. My knee throbbed so bad I bit my lip. The pain grounded me, forced me to keep moving. We stopped at a battered metal gate. Bill jumped out, unlocked it, motioned for us to duck low. The night air pulsed with faraway sirens and the faint, shifting static that never really went away. As we drove up the rutted path, I caught a whiff of burnt plastic on the wind. Carly was crying, quiet, snotty sobs she tried to muffle. I didn't try to stop her. I just watched the empty trees, gripping the stupid blue dinosaur until my fingers went numb. Every shadow felt like a trap. Bill parked in front of a lopsided hunting cabin, porch light flickering. We stay quiet. We keep moving. We don't let them use our memories against us. That's all we've got left. I helped Carly up the porch steps, my knee screaming, each heartbeat an echo of every name I'd ever loved. We closed the door. The static died down for a moment, but in the silence, I heard it whispering just out of reach, learning, waiting, ready for the next name to call. If you're listening, don't trust the voices. Don't trust the ones you love. Survive. And if you're still alive out there, subscribe for more stories. There's always another warning.